All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for caring so much about your sisters. And Gilda's going to read Sing Mishaberos for us. So let me bring that up. Gilda, are you ready?
Yep.
All right.
But it's not up there.
Oh, sorry. It would help if I went to the next page when trying to find it. There it is.
Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Lemotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Sandy, do you want me to put the slides up now, or you just want to let me know you're ready?
I'll let you know when. Thanks so much, Debbie.
Sure.
Okay. I previously presented Psalm 77, a dark, middle of the night, anxiety-ridden call to God. This time, I agreed to sign up for a date and look not only for a good date, but an uplifting psalm with good thoughts that would be relatively easy. When I saw that Psalm 145, the heart of Ashrei, was available, with its repeating praises of and to God, I said yes and clicked the button. How hard could this be? I subsequently mentioned my new assignment to my daughter, and she laughed at my intent of a simple psalm, asked if I was going to start with the missing nun, and wished me good luck. I'm glad we had a short conversation so that I was not shocked when the first sources I turned to spoke of a complex psalm, and I soon found contradicting theories from well-known scholars. So while there are days of study we could do on Psalm 145, I'm going to address a few of the areas that stood out to me. Psalm 145 is the last psalm attributed to David in the collection, and it is the last of the 9 psalms using some kind of acrostic pattern. 5 of these acrostics are attributed to David. Psalm 145 is the only one to bear the title Tehillah, literally praise, from which the entire book of Psalms takes its Hebrew name, Tehillim. It is alphabetic with 21 verses, thanks to the missing nun, but more about that later. No psalm is better known or recited more frequently than this psalm. It was in use during the Second Temple times, when, according to the Dead Sea Scrolls, the congregation responded to each verse by saying, "Blessed is Adonai, and blessed is God's name." It is recited 3 times daily. In the morning service, introducing sections of the service is 2 times, and once as a prelude to the afternoon service. As it says in the Talmud, Whoever recites a Psalm of David 3 times a day is assured a place in the world to come. And you can put up the slide now. Thank you, Debbie. So it begins Tehillah LeDavid, a song of praise of David. I will extol you, my God and ruler, and bless your name forever and ever. Divine kingship is a leading topic in this psalm of praise. Interestingly, this translation says, my God and sovereign and ruler, while many others emphatically translate Hamelach as my God, the sovereign, distinguishing not only my sovereign, but the sovereign as in one and only. Every day I will bless you and praise your name forever and ever. The psalm abounds with synonyms for praise using different forms of Hallel in its text. While Alter and other scholars comment that there's no special plan to these words and that they do not increase in level as we proceed, others argue that it is a highly structured, carefully crafted composition with a distinct pattern. That is one of those areas that could be a separate lesson, and I will leave for another day. Great is the Lord and much acclaimed. God's greatness cannot be fathomed. One generation shall laud your works to another and declare your mighty acts. The glorious majesty of your splendor and your wondrous acts will I recite. Here the author adds his voice to the chorus of praise. People shall talk of the might of your awesome deeds, and I will recount your greatness. Again, the shift to first person. They shall celebrate your abundant goodness and sing joyously of your beneficence. Chanum v'rachum Adonai, erech apayim ugdal chesed. The Lord is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger and abounding in kindness. We hear here echoes of the 13 attributes, which are originally found in Exodus 34. We think that they may have already been part of a liturgical staple of the time. The adaptation here is ugadol chesed, meaning abundant kindness, instead of rav chesed, abounding in kindness. The Lord is good to all, and God's mercy is upon all God's works. Now, Adonai's goodness is universal. All your works shall praise you, O Lord, and your faithful ones shall bless you. We began in line 1 with I will bless your name, and now we find that your faithful will bless you. Verse 11, they shall talk of the majesty of your kingship and speak of your might, to make God's mighty acts known among people and the majestic glory of God's kingship. Your kingship is an eternal kingship. Your dominion is for all generations. In verses 11 to 13, greatness becomes more explicit as majesty, might, etc. Now notice how in verses 14 to 20, we go from divine notice to divine regard. Verse 14, the Lord supports all who stumble and makes all who are bent stand straight. The eyes of all look to you expectantly, and you give them their food when it is due. You give it open-handedly, feeding every creature to its heart's content. The Lord is beneficent in all God's ways and faithful in all God's works. The Lord is near to all who call God, to all who call God with sincerity. In this and the next 2 lines, humankind's role in Adonai's works becomes apparent. We call with sincerity, we fear him, and we may not be wicked. God fulfills the wishes of those who fear God. God hears their cry and delivers them. The Lord watches over all who love God, but all the wicked God will destroy. My mouth shall utter the praise of the Lord, and all creatures shall bless God's holy name forever and ever. And now we go from I bless your name, your faithful shall bless you, and we end with all creatures shall bless forever and ever. Adele Berlin, in her article, The Rhetoric of Psalm 145, says, the entire alphabet, the source of all words, is marshaled in praise of God. One cannot actually use all of the words in a language, but by using the alphabet, one uses all potential words, so the form is made to serve the message. And you can take the slide down now as I'll try to end. Because so what of the elusive nun? There is a nun verse found in the early versions, including the Dead Sea Scrolls. Ne'eman Elohim b'chol devarav v'chesed b'chol ma'asav. Adonai is faithful in all his words and loyal in all his deeds. Is this the authentic original or a replacement by scribes who assume something belonged there? Was it lost from the text in error or deliberately left out? Rabbi Yochanan and others say that nun stands for fall, nophel, and its elimination was a desire to avoid even a hint that Israel or the temple would fall, though others dismissed the theory. What I know is that I wanted and perhaps even needed these days an uplifting, positive psalm, and I found that I have always had it. No wonder they added the verse beginning with Ashrei, joyous are those who dwell in your house, and concluded with Ba'anachnu, we shall praise Adonai now and always. Hallelujah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now, give me just a second. Sorry. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. I'm trying to figure out how to remove your spotlight. There we go. And thank you so much. And Francis, you're going to read for us the Kaddish list.
Right? Yes.
Thank you for doing that.
Okay. Has there been any changes since yesterday?
Rabbi Ellen often goes, so when you volunteer to read the Kaddish list, what you're sent is a link to a Google Doc that we call hot all the time. So anytime anybody makes a change, it's automatically there. So you just have to go to that list to see the changes.
Oh, I didn't.
That's all right.
Okay.
I'll check and we can add anybody who we
Okay,
need to add.
that's fine. Thank you. Okay, we'll read the list now. Evelyn Seelig, Sue Press, Leona Ellingsberg, Dolores Megan, Phyllis Haas, David Copeland, Louis Hoser, Ivan Stanton, Julie Wynn, Louis Berlin, Hilda Stern, Sylvia Kraus, Hope Dellen, Cy Kane, Minna Asserson, Richard Marheet, Lillian Rappaport, Eden Rich, Susan Berman Levine, Avraham Ben Hirsch Lieb, Lillian Tobias, Helen Goldberg, Dr. J. Marlin, Linda Hornick, Donna Spector, Rabbi Ken Roseman, Hannah Rich, Stephen Lazarus, Stephen Carlin, Richard Merrick, Doris Kaufman Shaman, Benjamin Zimmerman, Moshe Eliezer, Thornton Soup Satterstein, Herb Lubars, Allison Stopal Weaver, Harold I. Abramson, Judy Berger, Madeline Saul, Rabbi Micha Kaplan, Nissan Yisrael Ben Yaakov Aryeh, Sarah Bat Abraham, Raymond Raskin, Staff Sergeant Adiel Fisher, Raymond Sassoon, Nachman Ben Leah, Devorah Bat Albert Miller, Joan Sitfer, Hannah Bat Shimon Vakarlin, Helen Rose, Leah Barker, Robert Thorpe, Robbie Cohn, Margot Grosbein, Florence Lutstein, Pinchas Mendel Ben Yaakov Varechel, Joan Steiner, Michael Silverman, Miriam Lehman, Helen Babbitt, Michael Barr, Waylon Beth Wingen, Lucille Vey, Theodore Fishman, Carol Hope Tobe, Michael Ward, David Levy, Howard Gould, Raymond R. Pius, Charles Gilbert, Rabbi Jeffrey Lanor, Sharon Hope Rothenberg, Seth Tiles, Ruth Astro Shvat, Honorable Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Matt Eisner, Rabbi Shlomo Balter, Sherry Litt, Rabbi Rachel Bat-Or, Henry Aaron, Gloria Fischel, Minna Och Katz, Ann Butler, Leonard Finkelstein, Sybil Belfer, Abraham David Ben Echonon, Sly Logano, Jeanette Wilds, Molly Sherman, and thank you. May their names be a memory. Thank you.
Also, we add Henry Kritzer and Natalie Roach. Are there any others that we need to add today? No? Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and lead the Kaddish. Please rise if you are saying Kaddish and follow along with the cursor as we say Kaddish. And please unmute yourself so we can do Kaddish together. Yid Gadol Shemei Rabba Yama Ibra Irute Be'amlik Malchute Bechayon Uyomechon Ufchaye Kol Beit Yisrael Ba'atala Uvizman Kari Bimru Amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shei Rabba Emorah Le'olam Ulamei Almaya Yitbarach B'Shabbat B'Tahar B'Troma B'Naseh B'Tadar B'Tahol B'Halal Shemei Kedusha Rehu Le'ela Im Kol Birkata Shirata Tushata Nemata Damiran Yalma Biru Amen.
Amen.
Yehe
Shlama,
Shlama
Rabba,
Min
Maya,
Maya
Chaim,
Lena
Lena,
All
Israel,
Israel
Bimeru, Amen.
Amen.
Oseh, Shalom,
Ramav
Yaseh, Shalom, Aleinu, V'Yakol, Yisrael, Bimeru, Amen.
Amen.
I should
I
call
want to
Kevin.
say thank you to everybody who participated. Sandy, was this your first time teaching or have you taught before?
It was my second.
Second. Well, you did a fabulous job, and I want to thank everyone who has volunteered to do any of the roles on Women's League. You guys have been fantastic. I know it also gives Rabbi a bit of a break. Please continue to sign up. We have just a few open spots to finish up Psalms. I know we do need a reader for the Mishaberach list, not next week, but the week after, and there's still a few singing Mishaberach spots open. And then we're going to be switching to, I don't know if Rabbi announced it, Pirkei Avot, which will be a very different type of teaching. You won't have to study the psalm ahead of time and look for sources. So thank you to everyone who participated. And we hope that our friend gets to urgent care safely. And hopefully we'll hear back tomorrow how she's doing. Thank you, Audrey. You can say it.
No, she doesn't have sound.
Oh, well, thank you. We might have to record you so we can put it up there. So thank you. And thank you to Toby, my trusted partner who has helped us to get, cover this week for Rabbi and Debbie.
You and Toby are doing great, Debbie. Thank you.